And we are live. Welcome back, everybody. Dip Catcher Radio, back again. What an exciting time. Sorry if my camera is bugging out. I've got camera issues, but we're just going to keep pushing forward. I use one of those apps where you use like an old iPhone as a webcam, but for some reason my USB cable just sucks or something. But here we are. We're going to keep pushing forward. Haven't streamed in a while, but what better time than discuss a new experience coming to PulseChain called Quantum Raffle. Quantum Raffle is mainly trying to create a new type of high ROI potential on-chain experience other than the shit ticker rat race. I think by now at this point in the cycle, I sense some general exhaustion, just, kind of cycling from thing to thing and just kind of all the stresses that come with that of trying to get in super early and trying to exit and be the one that captures the gain. So trying to kind of rethink what that, what it means to capture, to create a high ROI potential thing, and make it where it's not just like the first guy that gets in captures all the gain, but to make something where, the people that capture the gain are kind of spread out a little bit differently than just like the first guy that hit the buy button. And then also the purpose of this is to create something that's a unique high ROI experience for people to be able to promote for PulseChain. I think that, there's kind of that narrative that green candles are gonna bring people, but the reality is that there's green candles everywhere, and with hundreds of thousands of tokens launching every other day, there's just it kind of, I think, just falls on deaf ears. And also like green candles on, where the people you hear about it, you see them performing really well is it's not the green candles, it's the person that got the green candle who's persuasive. And so since it's been kind of a PulseChain and Hex bear market, even though there have been some strong green candles like the PTGC thing, PDI, a handful of other things on PulseChain, native PulseChain things that have performed well, like people within the existing ecosystem hear about it, but people, like mass amounts of people from external places, it just kind of falls on deaf ears. So what I am really trying to aim to do with Quantum Raffle is to kind of just give people a new type of narrative to promote other than buy this ticker, because they're hearing that from everywhere, and they're hearing that from people that very publicly are kicking ass. And so just trying to give people a new thing to promote that can help bring new users to PulseChain and hopefully break out into not just other crypto audiences, but off-chain audiences as well. So that's kind of the main purpose of Quantum Raffle, is to create a new type of on-chain high ROI experience, and then equip PulseChain users with something that they can promote that can hopefully break through the noise a little bit. So right now we have 82 live viewers. I think probably mostly on Twitter. See any comments on here, but maybe they're commenting. Comment if you can and tell me what platform you're watching. Oh, I see. You can't post comments. Okay, so it's only YouTube. I think most of the viewers are on Twitter. So here, let me try to pull it up on. Okay, I see it says live right here. Let me try to pull this up and see if people are in the chat. Let me mute here. Okay, so StreamYard isn't pulling in Twitter comments. I'll be kind of looking there. But in the meantime, if you're watching this, please hit the retweet button. Cool. All right, so some of you who are watching may have just watched on Archmax's stream. We just talked about it there, but I figured since I have the streaming deal all set up that I might as well just keep the gravy train rolling and talk about it here with you guys. So basically the way Quantum Raffle works, let me just go ahead and share my screen here so we can just kind of look at the I have a version on testnet that I've been testing on, and it's actually kind of creates a good way to describe how this all works. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So basically the way that Quantum Raffle works is that the game starts and then you can start buying raffle tickets. The first 10 raffle tickets cost 2 million pulse, which is about $100. But then the price drops to 200,000 pulse after the first 10, and I'll go into why that is in a little bit. But so from that entry, 80% of it goes into this grand prize pool, and 20% goes into what's called the Virality Bonus Prize Pool. So the grand prize pool is split amongst the same number of a number of winners that's equal to the number of digits in the total count of raffle tickets that are sold. So here on this testnet version, there were 145,660 raffle tickets sold, and so there are 6 winners. So number of digits, number of winners, and you are a winner if you are the last participant, the 10th from last, 100th from last, 1,000th from last, 10,000th from last, or 100,000th from last. So every power of 10. So like basically when you buy a ticket, you're put in line, and then the first person in line, 10th from last, 100th from last, etc. Those are the winners. That creates a scenario where, which I'm hoping kind of turns into a flywheel effect, where the prize is so large, and then whenever you buy a ticket, you're like put into contention to win a prize, where the prize grows at a huge rate, but then the entry cost is fixed. And so, rather than the first person to buy a token that moons gets to capture most of the performance, in this case, actually the last people that buy end up being the ones that win. So it kind of flips that premise of shit ticker trading on its head here, where rather than the first people to buy are the big winners, in this case the last people to buy are the big winners. So, but not just last, 10th from last, 100th from last, 1,000th from last. So, but the majority of the prizes are centered around that last couple thousand people. And so that's how the grand prizes are allocated. So that happens if 30 minutes goes by without any new raffle tickets purchased. So you'll see here that on the site there will be a countdown, and you can see how many minutes are left. And on my testnet version, the raffle's over, so that's why it says 0. But it'll be a clock countdown from 30 minutes, but then every time a new one comes in, it resets the clock. So 30 minutes goes by without any new raffle tickets is when it ends. And so yeah, that's generally how the grand prizes work. So as it grows, the prize pool grows, and then every order of magnitude, it adds a new winner. So here, in this simulation, there was 145,000 entrants, and so about 23 billion pulse, and that was split between 6 winners. So each of these people got, what would that be, about 4 billion pulse-ish, 23 billion divided by 6. So that's how that works. So kind of on the other end, partially to create kind of like a referral system without referral links, and also to kind of balance out the statistical property where most of the grand prize winners are the latest of entrants. Like you see here, like in this example, 145,660 entrants. The winner, like 4 of the 6 winners were after place 144,000. So like, and that's just, because like last, 10th from last, 100th from last, 1000th from last. So like the majority of the winners are going to be kind of in that final 1,000 entrants. So, so to kind of balance that out and to incentivize people to participate early, there's something called the virality bonus. And so 20% of the raffle ticket entry goes into the virality bonus prize pool. And then that is distributed to basically everyone who's entered already. They get to draw from that virality bonus. And kind of, easy way to think about it, earlier you join, the more you earn from the virality bonus prize pool. So the way it works is that when you enter the raffle, you are put on a team. So then the team you're on is however many digits are in your raffle ticket ID number. So team 1 are tickets 1 through 9. Team 2 are tickets 10 through 99. Team 3 are tickets 100 through 999. Team 4 is 1,000 through 9,999, etc. And so once your team fully forms, you now begin earning out of that 20% of the deposits from later teams. So for instance, here, say you're on team 2, you start earning once team 3 fully fills up. So if you are tickets, any of tickets 10 through 99, you start earning once team 3 is fully filled. So once it gets to 1,000 entrants, that's when team 1 and team 2 split 20% of the deposits from entrants 100 through 999. So what does that come out to? That comes out to about, 900 times the 200,000 entry fee times 20%, which goes to the virality bonus. So that amount from team 3 gets split equally amongst team 1 and team 2. So 50% of that goes to team 2 and 50% of that goes to team 1. Team 1 people, they get a larger amount because their half of that team 3 virality bonus allocation is split only between 9 people, whereas for team 2, that is split over 90 people. To kind of counteract that, that's why raffle tickets 1 through 9 cost 2 million pulse, and then it drops down to 200K for everyone after that. So it kind of blends together team 1 and team 2 in that way, or else team 1 would have just, like, the multiples on team 1 would have been too high, basically, in my opinion. So the earlier you join, the lower number team that you're on, the more you earn from that virality bonus. And each time a team fills, the virality bonus grows and grows and grows. And so that's why, that's kind of what creates this incentive for people who, join. Maybe you join early, and if you join early, it can be kind of unlikely that you end up winning the raffle, the grand prize at least. But if it keeps growing and growing, then you can achieve pretty high multiples on your entry deposit just from the virality bonus. So it's kind of like a referral for everyone to participate in. And so that's kind of that's how it works. And the virality bonuses, those are claimable in real time. So as a new team fills up, so that they become claimable. So kind of some interesting things to think about here with the virality bonus are that it can be viewed as kind of a way to recoup your entry fee. So like kind of the way the math works out too is that once like 2 teams after you fill up, you basically recoup what you put in, which actually gives you one, just yield. You think of it like yield, or 2, like now you can like re-enter. So like in this example, there was, what was that, 145,000 units sold, and team 1 had they have already earned back 116 million pulse each. They put in 2 million. They now have 116 million. And this would be especially large. I don't know how big this will be. I think it could get big, especially if a flywheel takes off. But maybe the first one, maybe not so big. But I mean, who knows? But like, definitely attainable. So these people basically EX'd their deposit. They went from 2 million to 116 million. That's 60x, not 80x, but less than 60x. And then team 2, they went from 200K to 11 million. So what is that? Like 50x. So like, but no one from team 1 or team 2 won a grand prize. So that's kind of how it balances out. Is like, if you're early, like the early participants who have less chance of winning a grand prize, they're kind of there to promote the game. So this group, like these early participants, they're basically subsidizing the prize pool. Like they're seeding the prize pool, making it so that like a flywheel can take place. Where like, what if this prize, if this prize pool, $1 million split between 6 people, was that like just under 200K each on a $10 entrant fee? If that prize pool gets large enough, like it can kind of turn into that flywheel effect. And so that's to kind of incentivize these people to, 1, to boost that prize pool early on, and then 2, try promoting this and to kind of give them an incentive to drive people to PulseChain to participate in this. And so that's kind of the core premise. And so these are claimable in real time. So you can earn and then run it back. Like you can keep entering. Like you can claim your rewards from the virality bonus and then buy later. So like if you deposit early, you can basically get free entries later on where your chances of winning are higher. So hopefully that's what we see, where people who enter early get the virality bonus, end up just like recirculating and getting those kind of free entries later on. And so yeah, that's kind of the premise here. So this is going to be launching on Wednesday. It's about 44 hours from now. This will be going live. There's probably going to be a race to get in early. Could be kind of crazy. But kind of the way I see it is like if you're in the first 1,000, that's a good start. And then this could go on for like indefinitely. There's some theoretical limits on how high it could get. I estimate the total sorry. I estimate like my camera's not working, so here I'll just do this. I estimate the theoretical limit to be something around 16 trillion pulse. That's like the user-owned pulse supply. So non-RH owned coins. But I mean, that would even be a stretch there. I mean, that's a lot. But it can really get as large as the the budget of the people that are willing to participate. And so hopefully the way that this plays out is that a large pool builds up. It becomes so attractive to have the chance to turn $10 into $1 million without having to like buy a token early and hopefully time it right. And then you get and then now there's like a viral message like, oh, PulseChain has a $1 million raffle prize available for the public. Enter here. And then with, a couple thousand people that have skin in the game to try promoting it, hopefully we can break through is kind of the thinking. I've talked to some people that actually have a ton of Pulse that are pretty on board with in kind of subsidizing this prize pool. So like, there's already someone I know who is going to, at least they claim they will. And I do believe them, just basically enter a lot of fucking raffle tickets. One, I mean, they have a chance to win doing that. Like that's kind of, let me show you a visualization of kind of how the prizes work. It's kind of a cool little animation here. Let me pull it up. So here's I hope you can see that. So the purple dots are the winners. And so you see like the 1st and the 10th are winning. Now the 100th. And so the winner slot kind of phases through all users. And now we have coming up 1,000, like the 1,000th entrant coming up soon. So you see, it kind of is weighted towards the latest depositors. So 1, 10, 100, and then once it hits 1,000 here in a second, you'll see a grand prize slot phasing through everyone else. So like, there's always a chance like that. That's kind of like the way to think about it, is that like every new person that enters puts you closer to winning the grand prize. Because like right now it's like, everyone inside of here, like, they're not winning but now boom, another chance for everyone to win. And so because it's, it's like the 1st, the 10th, the 100th, the 1,000th, it's actually impossible to kind of game. The only way to game it is to basically just buy more tickets. So there's not like and I've been trying to research and determine what the actual like mathematical definition, because like it's not a random distribution. There's different math terms for different types of distributions. Like there's random, there's Gaussian, there's Poisson. Like there's all these different mathematical terms for, probability distributions basically. And so I'm trying to figure out what this actually is. But I think it's pretty, it's like there's always a chance here. And so like once it reaches the 10,000th person, then another dot enters the mix here. Which I think let's see, the video goes for like another 24 seconds. So let's see if it reaches, that next cohort of winners. But yeah, so that's kind of the, this is a good way to think about how this is. And another thing that's not captured in this is the virality bonus. Maybe a better way to do this would be like to have like the dots on the inside be growing or something. As that takes place there. But yeah, so that's like a cool little grand prize visualization that you can check out on my Twitter account. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So I guess last thing to cover here is, why is it called Quantum Raffle? Part of it is that, here, let me just pull this open and I can kind of, let me reshare my screen and then I will. So one of the reasons why it's called Quantum Raffle is that, one, it's called raffle, not a lottery, because lottery, you hear that, you're like, oh, I'm never going to win. But raffle, I've won a raffle before, and I bet you have too. So that's part of it. And then two, like, the way quantum, when you hear quantum computing or like quantum mechanics, it's it relates to a premise where all possible outcomes of something exist in something called a superposition, where which is captured by a probability distribution of all possible outcomes occurring, and then that superposition resolves to some final outcome when it is observed. Observed literally means looked at or measured. It's kind of at the heart of physics, that concept. And that's kind of what like when you enter the raffle, it's kind of like you're entering a superposition of possible outcomes where you put $10 in and you become a millionaire. Or like, there's some probability distribution of you winning, and then the final winning state of the game is finalized and determined once the system is measured. And in this case, being measured means 30 minutes goes by without any new entries. And so that's kind of, why it's called quantum, because it kind of replicates that type of, where like joining the game is like you're entering a superposition where where the thing you're trying to determine is if you're going to become a millionaire. And then that superposition resolves to the outcome once the end state occurs. So kind of fun, kind of, stretching the definition of things for fun and for good narrative. But that is Quantum Raffle. So this is, again, launching on Wednesday. It's probably going to be a race to get into those first couple slots. So try your best. I don't know what to tell you. Usually I don't launch things where it's a race to get in. This is different because it's kind of part of the definition. And something that there's been interest in, and something that I'm kind of working on now, is a bot that you can run on your own computer that will play the game for you. So say you want to like enter like every hour, or you want to enter every day, or you want to just whatever the case may be. If it gets down to 2 minutes remaining, you want to enter whatever the case may be. Setting up a bot that lets you do that. Just kind of takes care of it for you. So I'll keep y'all updated on that. If that ends up working out as expected, and if I'm able to ship that, then you'll have the bot to do that. But if not, hoping people in all time zones participate, so this can kind of keep the gravy train rolling. But yeah, I'm excited. It's pretty crazy thing, it's different than the shit ticker rat race, and that's just the goal of this, is to create an alternative to that type of like trading experience for people to capture similar types of gains. And I think that the rule structure enables that, where like if you're early, like you have a chance of winning the big prize, smaller chance than if you join late, but you earn the virality bonus. So that's like as if you bought something early and then dollar cost averaged out as the price went up by providing liquidity. So those people, so that's like one way to like think about the virality bonus. Then the grand prize, it's kind of like as if you bought early a ticker that pumped, but in this case you're buying late. So that's kind of the analog there, is that in the shit ticker rat race, the early buyers capture the big prize, but in this case the late buyers capture the big prize. So it kind of shifts that around, because in the shit ticker rat race, once those early buyers bought, it's already determined who's going to win. But in this case, you can always become a later buyer. So it kind of shifts that paradigm there of who the gains and losses go to. And also, I think that having even though you can buy as many tickets as you want, and you can buy them in bulk, making it where like the $10 entry is the standard. I'm hoping that helps people mitigate risk and not like just wreck themselves by just going all in completely all at once. Like you'll probably have a better chance of spreading them out, and hopefully that unit bias kind of helps there. So anyways, I think I'm going to hop off now. I don't see any questions. And we'll probably do another live stream maybe later today, or to capture new time zone people, or sometime tomorrow probably. I'll be back on. All right. Thanks for joining, everybody. 387 viewers. It's pretty good. Pretty good. All right. The website's going to be quantumraffle.ai. Right now, you can go there and kind of browse and see the testnet version and kind of get a sense of the numbers and what it's all about. And then when this goes live, you'll hear about it from me. All right, you guys, have fun. We'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.